Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Eutaw Street Banter Podcast. I'm here, like always, with Elijah. What's up, man?
Not much. How are you?
Doing good. So not much has really been happening other than actual baseball games, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
But with baseball games, I guess, comes some injuries, right? Some injury news. That would be one of them that we really got nervous about was the Cedric Mullins injury with his right hamstring earlier this week. But it looks to me like they're saying that he should be coming back, hopefully by Thursday, which is a couple days from now. So hopefully that happens. The only thing that makes you kind of nervous is that he had some issues with that last year, I believe, right?
I don't think it was the hamstring. I think he had some groin issues last year, but it's same area, same leg, so it's always raises some concern.
Gotcha. Luckily it's no worse than what it could be, I guess. The other one, a little more serious, is John Means. He had left elbow. He had his, Tommy John surgery, so he's still recovering from that a little bit. They're hoping that he returns in early April. So that's still, it's a lot better than what it could be. Hopefully it turns out, and he's fresh for maybe a little longer than some of our other guys, because he'll be have 4 weeks or really 5 starts less on him before the All-Star break. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad that it's really, you've only heard good news about it, and even he, I was listening to an interview with him, and even he says that he's feeling good. They're just taking it easy and just trying to be smart. And then the one that still worries me is Kyle Bradish. Of course, he hurt his UCL, which is his elbow. Well, not hurt, but he's having issues with it. The internet on Orioles.com, it says that potentially April or May. I would be shocked if that is true, because general manager Michael Elias didn't really have a timeline, and I feel like April and May is not very long away.
No.
So if there was a timeline, if they really felt like he was going to make that.
He's not even thrown from the mound yet, I'm pretty sure, so I really doubt.
Yeah, just 90 feet today. Literally, on Monday, he threw from 90 feet at camp. Just flying around, literally just playing catch from 90 feet. I just, what worries me about that is it just screams, Bautista. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seemed like we were just, got all optimistic because you'd see him throwing, and they
And he had to get.
The only thing that worries me here is, I don't want to lose him for 2 years, so it's his body. I get it. I'm not the one going under the knife, so that makes sense, but I still, if you almost wish if it's a 90% chance that he needs the surgery, you almost wish you'd get it as soon as possible, so that maybe we don't lose him for all of next year too.
Yeah, because they found out, I think, about the injury in January, February, something like that. So you get the surgery then, he's back for next season at least. But now, the way it turns out, he gets it now or in a month or two, he may be out definitely this season, probably all next year too. It's just, I don't know, something that worries you always, but we'll see.
Now on to amazing news. There's a little bit of David Rubenstein news. If you forget, then you're probably not an Orioles fan. No, I'm just kidding. But obviously Rubenstein is the potential new owner for the Baltimore Orioles. So a little bit of news with him today, and we'll get to that in 1 second, because Elijah and me, we have some fun things coming in today's episode. So we're going to do a little bit of some questions back and forth to each other. We're going to call it safe and out. So if we agree with each other on a particular statement, we have to say safe. If you disagree, you say out. Some are serious questions, some are just for fun. I just feel like we're getting ready to have some, baseball games are getting ready to start. We have an interview coming up for next week's podcast. So let's have a little bit of fun before things get going. So I'm pretty excited about that. And, we were talking about David Rubenstein, and I think Elijah was saying that he might have a David Rubenstein question to start us off.
Yeah, so I have one statement about David Rubenstein, but before I get to that, will say that according to some reports from different places, the MLB ownership committee has approved the potential sale of the Orioles. So I mean, that's good news if it's true, and if that is the case, that means that we could have him as the owner by opening day.
Yeah, and I did read that. So now they need to have every owner in Major League Baseball has to vote, right? All other 29, and I believe they need 23 out of the 29 to vote yes. And so that usually doesn't mean that they actually have to meet in person. Like they can do it virtually, but there's apparently still paperwork and stuff. I mean, I guess when you're dealing with this amount of money and this much this type of clout, I'm sure there's a lot going into it. But yeah, so I'm excited though. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, but so my statement that I feel like a lot of Orioles fans may get mad at me about, but I feel like kind of everyone's been jumping the gun on, is that I don't think David Rubenstein is going to be making as many changes as Orioles fans are hoping for.
I think if you were thinking like we were the new Yankees or the Dodgers, then okay, yes. But I also don't think it can get any worse than what it was. So there's literally only one way to go. So, if, you're looking at a bar graph and it's just elevated a little bit year to year, I think we'll take that. I think, I keep hearing people talk about, Rubenstein's coming. So there's Snell, still out there in free agent market. And I don't think we'll be fast enough for that. And I also think, if you've listened to Yankees news lately, I mean, Garrett Cole is getting ready to have his elbow looked at, and boy, I can, that's all just, putting puzzle pieces together. But that being said, I think that, man, I hope he does. I hope I just think if some Orioles fans I've talked to seem to have very unrealistic expectations, because it's still a market we're in. We still can't go, and spend like the Mets. You know what I mean?
That's kind of when I was like formulating my list and stuff. That's one of the things is like I'm kind of just going off of what I see on social media and just in the news and stuff. Like, even though we're getting bought by someone who's definitely going to make changes, they're just not going to be. They're going to be a lot more subtle stuff. It's not going to, instead of saying, okay, we're going to go sign Blake Snell, we're going to go get whoever the marquee free agent next year is. Instead of that, I think it's going to be more of we're going to extend Adley. We're going to start trying to work deals with like an Austin Hayes or an Anthony Santander. I think it's definitely more minor. Well, I don't know. I consider those major, but I feel like to a lot of Orioles fans, their dreams are through the roof here in this, especially after the Corbin Burns trade, when we have to be realistic still.
Yeah, I agree.
So are you safe or out?
I'm gonna say safe. I'm gonna say safe, but believe me, everybody, that doesn't mean it's gonna be the same. Like, it's not like, I don't know if you realize this, but we didn't keep Manny Machado, Jonathan Scope, any of those guys. Yeah.
Adam Jones.
Well, we did keep one of them, Chris Davis.
We did sign Chris Davis.
That worked out.
Thanks, Dan Duquette.
Meanwhile, we let Nelson Cruz go, and my man retired last year. That's okay though. All right, we're gonna let that go. Okay, so I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast before, but Elijah has been to, how many stadiums have you been to?
26 of the 30.
26 of the 30. Wow. All right, so this is a good one to ask him, or not ask him. I'm going to tell him. Okay. All right. Oriole Park at Camden Yards is the best venue in Major League Baseball.
Now, I am going to say safe, obviously. I have to take it. But I don't know. I may be slightly biased just because I'm a massive Orioles fan, but you can't beat the Warehouse. And, I mean, they may have tried to ugly the stadium up a little bit with that left field wall, but, just you got all the statues out and past the outfield. It's just, it's a beautiful stadium. Even though, like, they've built up the area nice, I mean, parking still might be kind of bad. Just don't go to a playoff game during a Stevie Nicks concert.
Oh, that was terrible. That was so bad.
Yeah, you'll get stuck in 3 hours of traffic.
We sat in the parking lot for like 3 hours. That was crazy.
But so there might not be great stuff. But I mean, I've been, like I said, to 26 stadiums. So there definitely are some nice ones out there. But what do you mean? We're home of the 2029 All-Star Game according to rumors.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that would be cool.
we got that to look forward to.
Well,
I guess.
what would be your next one?
Next, I don't know. PNC, which is the Pirates Stadium. It's beautiful. I mean, it sucks because the Pirates play there, but that one's really nice. The Padres have a really nice stadium. I don't know. There a couple of the classics. Like I've never been to Wrigley. That's somewhere that I probably have.
We had tickets. We had tickets to go to Wrigley, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, COVID.
That's the only bad thing that came from COVID.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But I mean, Fenway's nice. Been there. I will say this, and this just makes Yankees fans hate me more, which I'm okay with. Is Yankee Stadium was very bad.
Yeah. I think the two things happened to us at Yankee Stadium. For Yankee fans, we're going to tell you where we sat so you can understand. We sat in the bleachers, okay?
Yeah, the $10 center field bleachers.
And that they weren't worth $10. So it felt like I was at a minor league game. It really did. Yeah. All right. What's your next one?
So I have an interesting one here, and I think you should agree with me, but I think Ramon Urias will be traded before the All-Star break.
Yeah, I agree. Here's my problem though: is I just don't think we get much for him.
Not at all.
I say that because I think every other general manager on earth knows that there's not a place for him on our team. It's sort of like, I'm going to compare it to fantasy baseball. If I know you don't want somebody, then I'm not going to give you the best package for him. I mean, you're just trying to unload him. But let's say that's not true though. Let's say the Orioles, are still looking. I just think he's not as valuable as if he was when maybe he won the Gold Glove. I mean, last year didn't go great, and then I believe he's a reverse split guy, right?
Yeah. So he the one thing that our lineup really needs is another righty bat, because really all we have right now is Ryan Mountcastle. We're really lefty heavy, and he's a right-handed bat, plays third base. You think maybe he has some pop? I think he had how many home runs? He hit 4 home runs last year. He doesn't hit lefties at all, which is terrible. I think he has like a 230 batting average against lefties last year. And it's something that you're going to need to be better against, especially when you have people like a Jackson Holliday. Another one that I really like is Kobe Mayo, because he can come up, he can play third base and corner outfield, and he's a power righty. So I think that's why I think Kobe Mayo pushes him out. And I mean, the other thing is, like you said, he won a Gold Glove in 2022. When obviously, I wouldn't say, for those of you who know too many stats, defensive run saves aren't really all that, but I mean, it's still somewhat significant. Where in 2022, Ramon Urias had 14 defensive run saves, which is third in the MLB, most among third basemen in the American League. He had 0 last year.
Right.
Let's put it this way: Joey Ortiz, who got traded away because he didn't have a spot on the team, and maybe played 5 games at third base last year, had more defensive run saves at third base than Ramon Urias.
So, quick question. So, Urias, say he's gone, right? And you like Kobe Mayo, but I guess is Jordan Westbrook, is he the third baseman of the future?
So, I think it's either Mayo or Westbrook, and I really just kind of think Westbrook's going to be more of a utility guy. If I was to say my dream, 2026 Orioles infield, you're going to have first base is probably going to be Kjerstad. And then you have second base Holiday, third base Henderson, or shortstop Henderson, third base Mayo, and Westbrook is the guy that plays all over the place.
Gotcha.
He goes in Mayo DH a day and play him at third base. He can go play shortstop. He can play second base.
So if Westbrook's going to be a utility guy and you get a good trade package for Westbrook, do you trade him? This isn't a question either. So this is like one of the a free one.
It just kind of depends on the package, I think. I think as of now, there's no shot Westbrook gets traded, because yet again, he's really the only major league proven infielder other than Henderson.
Jesus Luzardo for Jordan Westbrook.
I mean, 100%. That trade would never happen, but I'd do it.
No,
I mean, no, I would.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, Luzardo's got, I think, 2 more years of control.
Okay.
So I think that
we'd have to add a couple more people to him.
So I mean, let's just put it this way. There's no shot that the Marlins would ever trade one-on-one Westbrook for Luzardo.
Well, yeah, I know. I get that.
If we could pull out, that'd be highway robbery.
Yeah.
Because nothing against Westbrook, he's great. It's just
highway robbery. It's sort of like if we had this conversation about Corbin Burns for DL Hall and Joey Ortiz.
There's
no way you go, you know what? That's a great deal. We should do that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I never said it. I think it'll work out decently for the Brewers, but they also knew there was no chance of ever re-signing Burns, so they got, I guess, what the best they could.
Okay, all right, let's do this. This should make some Orioles fans. All right, we're gonna trade Jordan Westberg, and we're gonna trade. Oh shoot, what's our closer that we just signed this year?
Kimbrel.
We're gonna trade Kimbrel to the Guardians for Emmanuel Clase and Shane Bieber.
100. Yeah.
Right. How fast can we do that? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll go live.
Yeah.
I will live in the Guardian Stadium.
All right, let's stop talking. Let's stop talking crazy talk. People gotta think we're crazy.
Okay.
All right.
So you're up on this.
Yeah. All right. So, I put this is one that I hope doesn't happen, but I think will. I think Ryan O'Hearn will have a steep decline in 2024, and I think he's almost bad enough he gets released or sent down.
So I'm actually gonna come out this. This is gonna be our first out.
Oh,
and my out's got a little caveat to it, mainly just because.
Can I challenge it?
You may want to challenge Asher. So he had a decent year and 346 at bats last year, 289 average, 480 slug, 801 OPS, 122 OPS plus. Really good offensively, not great defensively, but he's gonna platoon with Ryan Mountcastle, and I think Mountcastle is gonna have a big bounce back year and be really good this year. But this is what I see happening. He has a very short lead. Say he goes 2 week slump. I think he's in minor league or he's gone. Only because I don't know if Kirsten makes the roster anymore after the spring that Kowser's had. And
he's a big lefty too.
And he's a big lefty. Because I think what he's proven last year is he could already be at least replacement level, and he's only going to get better.
Right.
And you rather have a rookie that's going to get more time and more experience and get better than someone like O'Hearn, who out of his whole career, let's just put it this way, he had 1.2 WAR last year. That brought up his career WAR to -1.5.
Right. So you said you disagree. So you said out. So you think he won't have a decline?
So I don't think he will decline, but because I think a decline's not possible. It's either he's either gone or he's gonna do good.
Okay.
That's why I said it's a caveat, because kind of I'm saying I don't think he's gonna do good.
Right.
But I don't think he's really gonna have the opportunity to have a steep decline.
So you're the bad umpire that says safe but motion's out, or says out but motion's safe.
Yeah,
right.
Basically.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of come on, man. All right, what do you got?
So this one now this one I feel like is gonna make a lot of Orioles fans mad at me.
Well, you just make Orioles fans mad all the time.
You got to hear me out here. I don't think Jackson Holliday will be the most impactful Oriole rookie this year.
Wow. I mean, I hope you're wrong. Well, no, I don't. I hope you're right. I hope you're right, because I hope that he does awesome, but yet somebody else, is just that much better.
That's basically what I'm thinking, because I'm not in.
Okay, hold on. Let me say. I'm gonna say out, because I don't think think that happens. But that would be awesome. But I think Jackson Holliday will be the most impactful Orioles rookie. And I like where your head's at, though. I like what you're thinking.
Because if you look at the way I worded, I didn't say best rookie. I just said most impactful.
Yeah.
I still think he's going to be rookie of the year this year, but I don't think he's going to. I think we already have a really good infield, and he's obviously number one overall pick, number one prospect. He's going to be good. But I think he's not going to make as much of a difference as players like a Kowser or Kjerstad, because if Mullins has the year that he has last year with injury or with just kind of slumps, and Kowser comes out and does say what he's done in spring training or what he's supposed to do, I think he can play a bigger role as filling a spot and being our everyday center fielder. That kind of goes into what I'll talk about next after your next question. I don't think he will be the most impactful. By far, I think he'll be the best. But, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could be completely wrong, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think the one thing people have to realize is he's still a rookie. He's like 20 years old. And we allowed Gunnar to struggle last year. And obviously, he picked himself back up. So we're just going to be realistic on what to expect. And, I mean, I think another thing people just need to realize is he's not huge.
No.
Right? So I don't think I think 30 home runs is a stretch. I mean, I think a 20 85-90, a 20 home run, 85-90 RBI guy would be solid. And that's because I say the lower RBIs like that because I either think he bats at the head of the lineup or at the very end of the lineup. So he's going to be a run score to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to touch on plate a lot, but I don't think he hits a lot of people in.
No.
But the short porch might help. And I mean, luckily the AL East plays in like a lot of little league stadiums. You know what I mean? We're all Yankee Stadium, small, Orioles, right field, center field, small. Tampa Bay, small, Fenway, quirky. I don't know. I see where you're at. I'm gonna say out just because I think he is the most impactful rookie.
And like I said, I'm okay perfectly fine with being proven wrong here. But I don't know, because he's not that great against lefties, which is gonna be hard to play him. Because I mean, obviously, ideal if he gets off to a hot start, probably only against right-handed pitchers. You have him batting leadoff, go say Rutschman second, Gunnar third, right there. That's a pretty good top three.
Yeah.
That's probably better top three than almost anyone else in baseball. So, I mean, I don't know. This one's going to be a wait the whole year and see what happens. And I'll just add one last thing that may make people mad too. Just remember, everybody, Jackson Holliday doesn't need to be the next Gunnar Henderson.
Right.
We already have a potential, like, best shortstop in baseball. We need him to just be really, really good.
Yeah.
We don't, if he's being a superstar is obviously what we want, but his tools, all his grades aren't better than what Gunnar was. Even though he's the number one prospect, he's still not better than Gunnar. Let's just keep that in mind.
Right. Yeah.
Don't think we're going to have two Gunnars.
And Gunnar's proved it. So we know what we're getting. All right. So here's my little where I think the Orioles will be at the end of the season. So this is my statement. The Orioles will win 95 games and play in the AL wild card game.
I am out.
Okay.
For two reasons. I think both are wrong. I think we win less than that, and we win the division, though. So I think we're going to win less games because our competition in the division, I think, has gone up. I think the Yankees are going to... We beat up the Yankees quite a bit last year. I think they're going to be better. So I see us probably more around like the 90, like 91, 92. But I also see us winning the division.
You think you can win the division with 92 games?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because you got to think, hey, yeah, well, the division got harder for us, but it didn't just get harder for us. It's getting harder for everyone else. I think the Yankees and the Rays, and probably even the Blue Jays, are all finishing within the 85 to 90 range. I think we're just going to just barely. Because do you see the Yankees winning 98 games?
I mean, everybody on TV thinks they will.
That's
yeah. ESPN, like I've never seen anything.
Like it's terrible.
They picked up Stroman and Soto, and they are now going to win 137 games.
Soto definitely made the roster better, but I mean, if you still have what happened, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be. I don't think they're going to be that much better than they were. I think, did they probably get better than the Rays? Yeah, they did. But also, I mean, it does help if Cole's out for the season. That'd really help us.
Yeah, if Cole's hurt, man. I will say, I'm a Yankee hater, but it's going to be hard. That's rough news if the best pitcher in baseball gets hurt. I mean, yeah.
It's almost like that's happened to us.
Yeah. Yeah, the best pitcher.
Twice, I guess, because we had Felix last year, too.
Yeah, we've lost two stud pitchers. Absolutely.
But, I mean, at least we got Burns.
Yeah, right.
That's what we can keep saying.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully, I'm wrong and you're right. Hopefully they do, go to the division. And obviously, if I'm right and they go to a wild card game, they win. Obviously, we're winning the World Series because they didn't work out winning division last year.
That's very true. Yeah. That's why I'm saying we need to win less. Over 100 games isn't for us. Yeah.
What do you got next?
So this one hurts to say. And it's really been hard to come to terms listening to different podcasts, watching the news, reading articles. It's really hard to just think about as someone that I truly do love. But I don't think Cedric Mullins is going to be an Oriole after this season. I think by the 2025 season, I say a Marlin, but he could be. I think he's going to be on a different team.
You are safe. Yes, I agree. I do have a I do have an idea though. So it's either gonna be you either get to keep Cedric or you get to keep Austin Hayes. Obviously, if it was me, I'd rather keep Austin Hayes. I mean, I'd rather keep Cedric Mullins, but I think Cedric costs you more. And if you got to pay all these young guys and you got to have a cheaper option somewhere in that field, you put Austin Hayes in the left. Well, he could play all three positions anyway. I think that's what happens. I could be wrong, but I also could see them getting rid of. I could see next year. No, okay. I could see 2025. I could see 25 that all of our outfielders changed.
Yeah,
I could see us not having any other three.
I mean, yeah, because you have Hayes and Santander, both their contracts are up after this year. And it's really sad to say, especially for, like, obviously, I don't know how most sort of fans are, but, like, for me, this is kind of like, I grew up as a little kid watching, say, like, Adam Jones, and I had to go through, like, the heartbreak of seeing him leave, man, like, all these players. And now it's kind of the people that, like, were bringing you out of the darkness was basically, like, Mullins, Santander, Hayes, and then obviously Mancini, but we already had to say bye to him. So it's really sad to think that these Orioles you've been staring at in the outfield for years are going to be gone, but I don't see a possibility that really next year, like you said, I think Hayes may be here. We may re-sign him, but I don't think we can afford Santander. And that I think we trade Mullins because his contract goes till 2026. But if, like I predicted earlier, if Kowser does really, really well this year and he can play a good center field, what's going to be keeping Mullins on the field? Because you rather have Kowser. Kowser's going to perform better if he's living up to his expectations.
Yeah,
so
I mean, and Kowser's crushing it this spring too.
Exactly.
I mean, my man's batting a 450, 5 bombs. I mean, the stud. You know, he's a lefty. Mullins is a lefty. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with you. I spoke to one person that listens to our podcast and is always very vocal with me about it. And he said he's been saying that for, like, I don't know. I bet he's been saying that we should trade Mullins for like over a year now. And but what's hurting? Well, if you say, well, we can trade him, what's hurting him now is we need him to stay healthy.
Yeah,
that way his stock goes up.
Exactly, and that's why the one way that I think it could be done is definitely a trade with the Marlins, because I don't know, his name has been tossed around, I think, since probably the end of 22, beginning of 22, something like that, with trade talks with the Marlins, because I think the Marlins really, really like him. And the one thing that I've been saying for a while is that we have a lot of young position players. They have a lot of young pitchers.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like a perfect match?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, could we see Jesus Luzardo or some other pitcher from there come over?
Or if it's next year, Alcantara. Wouldn't that be legit?
I mean, if he could stay healthy.
Yeah, right.
Go back to...
My man, okay.
Go back to Cy Young.
Yeah,
last year was rough, but if he can bounce back, I think that, like, I don't know. You could see it. I think, obviously, it'd have to be a package deal because you're not... Cedric Mullins one-for-one's not going to get you much. But it's really sad, but I don't see him being an Oriole for much longer.
Right. All right. This is probably the most serious question I have. And if everybody that's listening can just put your serious cap on, all right, because this is really no debate, in my opinion. All right. A hot dog is the best food to eat at a ballpark while watching a baseball game.
Okay, so before I answer that, I have one question.
Okay.
Who do you root for in the hot dog race?
Who do you refer? I always go. I think I always go relish, which is weird because I hate relish, but it's green and green means go.
Yeah, no, I normally stick to mustard.
So I
remember not to try to, like, show off, but in 2015 I got to announce starting lineup for a kids opening day, and I actually got to pick who won the hot dog race that day. I always remember because I tried to bet with my grandfather who'd win. He didn't let me put money on it, but I would have won, obviously. But no, I normally stick to mustard, but I'm definitely going to out. A very hard out. Now, 100%. Okay, so let's think of it this way. Economically, hot dogs aren't the best. Great. They're like, what, $7 now? That's insane. Do you forget where we are, Cody? Baltimore, Krabby Fries?
Okay, I do love Krabby Fries.
Krabby Fries are much better than a hot dog.
But, I mean, it's not like the best food at a ballpark. Like, I don't know. And this wasn't like... this isn't just Camden Yards. I mean, I can go to any ballpark and sort of get, the same hot dog. Okay, unless if you've been to the Orioles games long enough where they used to have the dugout club hot dogs.
Oh, yeah. Third deck.
It was in the third deck. The hot dog was
$1.50?
Yeah, I don't know what. The hot dog was the size of a pencil.
Yeah.
Right? And it was in that warmer thing. Wrapped in tinfoil with the bun. It was in there. They probably made on the 7 o'clock game. They probably made them things at 12 o'clock.
Oh yeah,
like they've been there for a while.
But you go up there and get 15 hot dogs. You walking down and start handing out hot dogs.
Man, yeah,
that was the way.
They didn't stop us.
I mean,
But I mean, like the actual hot dog, I don't know, man. But the Krabby Fries are banging.
Yeah.
The Oreos pretzel's good.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, that's one thing that I am ashamed to say I've never had before, but I know a lot of people when we talk it up is Boog's Barbecue.
yeah.
Everyone
yeah.
really says that good.
You know why you don't see it? You haven't tried it. It's 'cause you're watching the game. Everybody's just sitting in line waiting to get it. Yeah.
So it's because of my father.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't spend much money at you.
No, you eat before you can. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you like your food, and I'll gnaw on my hot dog.
But so here's my last one, and this one is definitely to get a little bit of a better taste in every Orioles fan's mouth compared to all the bad stuff I've been saying. Gunnar Henderson's going to be a consensus top 3 shortstop in baseball after this year.
I think so. I mean, if you look at the shortstops right now, like I was watching MLB's top 10 shortstops or top whatever it is, shortstops. I was like a little surprised that he wasn't even in contention this year.
It's because he was on the third baseman list.
I know. But like, I mean, because he wasn't on the third baseman one either, because like he's not considered anything.
Yeah, because that's what he won Silver Slugger for utility. But I mean, this year he's definitely going to play a lot more shortstop than any other position. But I don't know. I mean, if he just keeps up how he was performing, I don't see how he can be. Because I mean, if you look at, okay, Corey Seager. He probably won't be better than Corey Seager, but that's also Corey Seager. Mookie Betts is apparently moving to shortstop. If he stays there, it's Mookie Betts.
Right.
I mean, Francisco Lindor maybe you might see, but like, is he going to be better than Anthony Volpe?
Well, let's just say an AL. So I mean, I think if like we're looking at like the AL, who's the best shortstop in our league? I mean, I don't see. Bo Bichette's really good, right? So, but even right now, if I say, hey, do you want Bo Bichette or Gunnar Henderson? You probably still pick Gunnar Henderson, right? And Correa isn't what he was. You know what I mean? I would always choose Gunnar over him.
Sorry, we forgot Javi Baez.
Yeah, we're not. No, we're not. We can forget Javi Baez.
And then like if we're yet again sticking, I mean, there's not much. Bobby Witt Jr. is really good.
Okay, Bobby Witt's legit, but Bobby is good, and I mean, yeah. I mean, that would be another guy. That'd be your best comparison.
Yeah,
to Gunnar.
The only difference is I think Bobby's faster. Gunnar has speed. He just doesn't steal as much, which definitely. But I think. I mean, give or take, say 5 years, you're gonna say who's probably the best 2 shortstop in baseball. I think it's gonna be Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Trey Turner's falling down too.
Yeah, Trey. That's there's not that many. There's not that many like used to be back in the day. Shortstops were your best player on the team. You had the Derek Jeters. You had Alex Rodriguez until obviously played third. But I mean, just those were the big name guys, and now it's kind of. I mean, I feel like more outfield heavy.
Right. I'll say safe on that. But I think I agree. And I mean, you said top 3. You didn't say number 1. So
No.
I mean, you can mix him in. I agree. Today's shortstops, you don't have to be that good on defense. And I think he is good. I mean, like, really we're just looking at the offensive numbers. I mean, unless he's god awful at short, but I don't, that's not going to happen. But yeah, so I'm going to say safe. I agree. And I hope we're both right. All right. My last statement that I think will happen, is that the Orioles will trade for a number 2 pitcher during the regular season. I'm going to even go all the way to, I think it happens 3 days before the All-Star break, so I can pull this audio
3
back.
days, yeah.
3 days. It's going to happen 3 days before. We're going to be so mad because they haven't done nothing, and then boom, and we're all going to say that it was Rubenstein.
I mean, if you're going to go ahead and say that, you might as well pick who the pitcher's going to be. Do you have someone in mind?
Okay, you know what? I think I've said his name too much on the podcast already, but I think Luzardo, because I think the Marlins aren't going to be as good as they think they are. They
definitely don't make playoffs this year.
I think they think they're good. Like, I think they'll be like, oh crap, they have young guys that are good coming up.
Yeah.
And, so I would say somebody like that. I don't think Cease. I don't know.
He's going to be too expensive, I think.
And the only way he's not expensive is if he's not that good this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which then you don't want him. We already tried that with last year with Jack Flaherty.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. Something like that. Or, you know what? Maybe Montgomery signs a 1-year deal or a 3-year deal with an opt-out this year with a team, and the team's not very good. say Montgomery signs a 3-year deal with an opt-out after year 2 with the Angels.
Yeah.
That would be like a type of of trade that would happen.
I definitely could see that. So this is where I'm kind of torn because
Are you safe or not?
I'm torn on that because I want to be safe, but this is what I'll say. I'm only going to be safe, and there's only one pitcher that I'll be safe for. Shane Bieber.
Oh, okay.
If we don't trade for Shane Bieber, he's the best pitcher I see us trading for. Because, like you said, Jordan Montgomery, I think that's possible, but I kind of doubt it. I think he's looking for a long-term deal. And like you said, no cease. I think Luzardo, if he gets moved, that's more of an off-season thing. But I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But so I'll say safe if it's Bieber, but other than that, I'll say out because if we trade for a pitcher, I don't see him being a number 2. I see it being a back-end guy.
Okay, maybe.
Because hypothetically, by the All-Star break, if we have Bradish and Means back, then we already have a pretty solid 1 through 3, maybe 4. And then that all depends what Kramer or Wells or Irvin we're doing already. So I think that's what I'm saying. To say in this hypothetical situation, we trade for Shane Bieber, he's at best our 4 pitcher.
Yeah.
Say Luzardo, he's probably at best 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just I'll say safe, but it's kind of halfway out too.
So you're safe, but you're not sold on when I said the number 2.
I'm more thinking it'll be more of a back end guy.
Okay.
And yet again, if we're gonna trade, if we're looking for a 5-starter, it's not gonna be a Luzardo. Why not just go out and get Gibson again? Why not go get Kyle Gibson?
Yeah, get just a true back end guy.
Say the Cardinals aren't what they're looking to. Go get a guy who's gonna take up innings.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Yeah. So I mean, definitely excited for this season. The statements are fun because we do have some difference of opinions, but for the most part, I mean, I think we all are, we all funnel back into the same hope.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, well, I really, really appreciate everybody joining us for our podcast this week. We're really excited about next week as we will have a special interview with someone, so definitely follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to find out that as soon as possible. And we definitely hope you join us next week. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.